Welcome to US Rare Coins News Fire. What if I told you, an old Eisenhower $1 coin hiding in your pocket or coin jar could be worth thousands of dollars today? Face screaming in fear money bag. Some rare Eisenhower dollar coins are making collectors go crazy because of rare mint errors, silver versions, and extremely valuable dates. Before you spend another old $1 coin, watch this video till the end because you might be holding a small fortune in your hands. Gemstone. Don't forget to like, thumbs up, share, counterclockwise arrows button and comment speech balloon if you love rare coins. Thanks with love for watching. Red Heart. Top 1, you might want to grab every old dollar coin you have before this video ends, because one dusty 1971 Eisenhower dollar that looked almost worthless, shocked collectors after selling for thousands of dollars, yes, thousands, for a coin most people ignore in junk drawers every single day. Picture this, a heavy old silver-looking coin sitting at the bottom of a toolbox for nearly 40 years, scratched, dull, forgotten, the kind of coin most people would spend without thinking twice, until one man in Colorado noticed something strange near the eagle on the back, one tiny detail, so small most people would never even see it, and that single detail changed everything. At first glance, the 1971 Eisenhower dollar looks ordinary, big, bulky, and honestly kind of boring compared to flashy modern coins. It was the very first Eisenhower dollar ever made for circulation, minted in Denver after President Dwight D. Eisenhower's death, and millions were produced, which is exactly why people overlook them. But hidden among those millions, are a few rare examples collectors are desperately hunting for right now. Now imagine holding this coin in your hand. It feels heavier than a quarter, almost like a casino token. On the front you see Eisenhower's serious face staring into the distance, and on the back, that famous eagle landing on the moon from the Apollo 11 mission design, flames beneath the eagle, the Earth floating in the background, pure American history frozen in metal. But here's where the story gets crazy. That Colorado man almost tossed his coin into a coin counting machine, until he noticed the surface looked unusually sharp, almost mirror-like, and the lettering seemed cleaner than normal circulation coins. So he took it to a local coin shop, expecting maybe $20. Instead, the dealer froze, grabbed a magnifying glass, and quietly said, "Do you realize what this is?" The coin turned out to be a rare high-grade 1971 Eisenhower dollar with exceptional strike details and almost flawless surfaces, something incredibly difficult to find because these coins were notorious for weak strikes and bag marks. A few months later, that same coin reportedly sold at auction for thousands of dollars, all because of condition and tiny details most people never check. And this is exactly why you need to check yours immediately. Here's what to look for. First, grab any 1971 Eisenhower dollar with the D mint mark under Eisenhower's neck on the front side. That little D means it was minted in Denver. Next, tilt the coin under a bright light. If the surfaces look unusually shiny, clean, or have very few scratches, you could already have something special. Now look closely at the eagle on the back, especially the feathers and the moon surface. On valuable examples, these details appear bold and sharp instead of flat and mushy. Then check the edges and lettering. If the words look crisp and strong, and the coin has very limited wear, collectors pay serious money for that quality because most 1971 coins were heavily damaged during production. And here's the shocking part, many valuable Eisenhower dollars are still sitting in old coffee cans, inherited collections, garage sale boxes, and even bank rolls because people assume they're too common to matter. That's exactly what makes this hunt so exciting. Most people search for pennies or silver quarters, while these giant dollar coins get ignored, and that mistake could cost someone thousands. Some collectors spend years trying to find a truly high-grade 1971 Eisenhower dollar because so few survived in beautiful condition. Every tiny scratch matters, every mark changes value, and pristine examples are disappearing into private collections fast. Which means the next one discovered could be sitting in your house right now. So tonight, before you scroll away, check the coin jar, check your parents' dresser drawers, check old piggy banks, because this giant forgotten dollar may be worth far more than anyone around you realizes. And trust me, this is only the beginning, because there's another Eisenhower dollar out there with a rare error so unbelievable, collectors have paid amounts that sound completely fake, and in the next video, I'm showing you exactly how to spot it before someone else does. Top 2, we're talking about a coin so overlooked, so ignored, that one man almost spent it on a gas station coffee before discovering it could be worth thousands of dollars. Yes, a single 1972 Eisenhower dollar hiding in plain sight. At first, it doesn't look special at all, just a giant old dollar coin with scratches, dull silver color, and a heavy feel in your hand, the kind of coin people throw into jars and forget for decades, but collectors know something the average person doesn't, because hidden among ordinary 1972 Eisenhower dollars are a few rare examples worth shocking amounts of money. And the craziest part, most people never even check them. A retired truck driver from Arizona learned that the hard way. One rainy afternoon, he was cleaning out an old cigar box passed down from his father. Inside were random coins, nickels, quarters, old wheat pennies, and one large 1972 Eisenhower dollar covered in dust and fingerprints. He nearly ignored it, until he noticed something unusual. The coin had almost no wear, the eagle on the back looked incredibly sharp, and the surfaces flashed brightly under the kitchen light. Curious, he brought it to a coin dealer expecting maybe $10 or $20. But the dealer suddenly leaned forward, grabbed gloves, and whispered, "You might not want to spend this." That single coin turned out to be an extremely high-grade 1972 Eisenhower dollar with rare collector quality, the kind almost impossible to find because most were heavily damaged during minting and circulation. Months later, it reportedly sold for thousands at auction, all because of tiny details hidden in plain sight. Now imagine this coin for yourself. The front shows President Dwight D. Eisenhower with bold lettering wrapping around the edge. Under his neck sits the tiny D mint mark from the Denver Mint, and on the back, an eagle descends toward the moon carrying an olive branch. Earth floating behind it like a scene from a space movie. It's big, heavy, and impossible to mistake once you hold one. But here's what makes certain 1972 Eisenhower dollars incredibly valuable. Most of these coins came out with weak details, lots of scratches, dull surfaces, and poor overall quality, so when collectors find one with sharp features and clean fields, they go crazy for them. And you can check yours right now. First, look under Eisenhower's neck for the D mint mark. If it's missing, you have a different version, but if the D is there, keep going. Next, hold the coin under bright light and slowly tilt it back and forth. If the surfaces shine almost like glass and the coin has very few marks, that's a huge sign. Now flip it over and study the eagle carefully. Look at the feathers, the claws, and the tiny details around the moon. On valuable examples, everything appears bold and crisp instead of flat or blurry. Then check the edges and lettering. If the words Liberty and In God We Trust look strong and sharp, you may have something collectors desperately search for. And here's where things get even more unbelievable. Some people unknowingly keep these coins in dresser drawers for 40 or 50 years, never realizing condition alone can turn an ordinary dollar into a small fortune. That's why these treasures still get missed today, because people think rare coins must be ancient or made of gold, when in reality, one of the most valuable Eisenhower dollars could be sitting in your home tonight. Collectors especially hunt for coins with almost no scratches because these large dollar coins were stacked in giant mint bags that damaged surfaces immediately after production, meaning pristine survivors are incredibly scarce now. And every year, fewer remain undiscovered. So before this video ends, check every Eisenhower dollar you can find, ask your parents, grandparents, search old boxes, bank rolls, junk drawers, anywhere forgotten coins might be hiding, because this is exactly how life-changing discoveries happen. And trust me, the 1972D is exciting, but there's another Eisenhower dollar era coin so rare, so bizarre, that some collectors call it the ghost variety, and when you see why, you'll never look at dollar coins the same way again. Top 3, coin story sounds completely fake, because one dusty 1974 Eisenhower dollar found in a kitchen junk drawer shocked collectors after being linked to a value worth thousands of dollars, for a coin most Americans wouldn't even pick up off a table. Seriously, imagine holding a giant old dollar coin with scratches, fingerprints, faded silver color, and thinking it's barely worth $1, only to discover collectors are hunting certain versions like buried treasure. That's exactly what happened to a woman in Nevada after cleaning out her late grandfather's garage. Inside an old metal toolbox, hidden beneath rusty nails and screws, she found several Eisenhower dollars wrapped in tissue paper. Most looked worn and ordinary, but one 1974 stood out immediately. The coin flashed brighter under the light, the details looked unusually sharp, and the eagle on the back seemed almost three-dimensional. She almost ignored it anyway, until a family friend whispered something that changed everything. Those big dollar coins can be worth serious money. At first she laughed, because let's be honest, most people think Eisenhower dollars are common casino coins or old pocket change. But after taking it to a coin shop, the room reportedly went silent. The dealer carefully examined the coin, checked the mint mark, rotated it under a lamp, and then said words every collector dreams of hearing. This is not an ordinary 1974 D. The coin turned out to be a rare high-grade example with exceptional strike quality and almost flawless surfaces, something incredibly difficult to find because these giant coins were famous for getting scratched and damaged immediately after leaving the mint. And when collectors compete for the best surviving examples, the prices can become unbelievable. Now picture this coin in your own hand. It's larger than a quarter, heavier too, with President Dwight D. Eisenhower's portrait dominating the front. Around him you see the words Liberty and In God We Trust, and just below his neck, the tiny D mint mark from Denver. Flip it over, and you'll see one of the coolest coin designs America ever made, an eagle descending toward the moon with an olive branch in its claws. Earth floating in space behind it like something from a NASA mission patch. And hidden in these details, is where the treasure hunt begins. Because most 1974 D Eisenhower dollars were poorly preserved, meaning clean high-quality examples are surprisingly rare today. So here's exactly what to check right now. First, find the D mint mark on the front under Eisenhower's neck. If it's there, don't spend the coin yet. Next, hold it under a bright light and slowly tilt it. Valuable examples often have strong luster, a glowing shine that rolls across the surface almost like liquid metal. Then study Eisenhower's hair, the lettering, and especially the eagle feathers on the back. If those details look bold and crisp instead of flat and weak, your coin could be much more important than you think. Now check for scratches and marks. Most surviving 1974 D coins are covered in heavy contact damage because they slammed together in giant mint bags for years, so cleaner coins become extremely desirable to collectors. And this is exactly why people miss them. The coin looks too ordinary, too modern, too common. Meanwhile, collectors quietly search estate sales, flea markets, and bankrolls hoping to discover one hidden gem everyone else overlooked. And here's the crazy part, some rare Eisenhower dollars have been found in places you'd never expect: old sock drawers, forgotten piggy banks, coffee cans, even taped inside family photo albums because relatives saved them decades ago and forgot completely. Which means your next big discovery could literally be sitting a few feet away from you right now. That's why you should check every Eisenhower dollar immediately, especially the 1974 D, because once high-grade examples disappear into collections, they rarely come back out again. And trust me, this coin is exciting, but there's another Eisenhower dollar with a mysterious error so strange, collectors once thought it was fake until experts confirmed it was real, and when you see that coin, you'll understand why some people call it the king of modern dollar treasures. Subscribe, like, and comment below if you own a 1974 D Eisenhower dollar, and thanks with love for watching US Rare Coins News. Top 4, wait, this is unbelievable, a simple 1978 D Eisenhower dollar pulled from a gas station change tray just sold for life-changing money and nobody noticed it sitting there for decades. It looked completely ordinary. Big heavy silver-colored coin, scratched edges, dull shine, the kind of dollar most people toss into a jar and forget forever, but one man in Ohio almost spent it on a soda, until something about it felt different in his hand. He said it felt too clean, too sharp for something that should have been floating through pockets and cash registers since the late 70s, and that tiny feeling stopped him from spending it, just for a moment. That moment turned into a discovery that collectors still talk about, because what he was holding was not just pocket change, it was a 1978 Eisenhower dollar with collector-level eye appeal that most people never even realize exists. Now picture this coin in your mind, large as a casino chip, heavy in your palm, with President Eisenhower staring forward on the front, and on the back, that powerful Apollo 11 eagle landing on the moon. Earth floating behind it like a silent witness to history. And here's where the story gets wild. Most 1978 Eisenhower dollars were never treated gently, they were dumped into giant mint bags, slammed together, scratched, scuffed, and shipped out as everyday currency, which is exactly why clean examples disappear so fast. That Ohio man almost ignored it, until he showed it to a local collector at a flea market table, and the collector didn't even speak at first, he just stared, flipped it, then stared again, like he had seen a ghost in metal form. Then came the words that changed everything. "You should get this graded." Weeks later, the coin came back certified in far better condition than anyone expected, and suddenly what looked like a $1 coin became something collectors actively compete for, because condition is everything in the Eisenhower series. Now here's what you need to do right now if you have one at home. First, find any 1978 Eisenhower dollar and check the mint mark under Eisenhower's neck on the front. You're looking for a small D, that means Denver. Next, hold the coin under a bright lamp or sunlight, slowly tilt it side to side. If you see strong glowing luster that rolls across the surface instead of dull flat metal, that's your first big clue. Then look closely at Eisenhower's hair and the lettering around him. If the details look bold and sharp instead of soft and worn, stop, because that kind of strike quality is getting harder to find every year. Now flip it to the back. Focus on the eagle's wings and feathers. On valuable high-grade examples, you can actually see separation between the feathers instead of a blurred outline, and that detail is exactly what collectors pay attention to. And here's the part most people don't realize. The 1978 D is the final year of the Eisenhower Dollar series for circulation strikes, meaning fewer were saved in perfect condition, and most were heavily circulated before anyone thought to collect them seriously. That's why these coins keep slipping through people's hands unnoticed, because they look too modern, too common, too not rare. But collectors know better, they hunt for sharp strikes, clean surfaces, original mint luster, and untouched eye appeal, because those examples are becoming increasingly scarce in the wild. So check your drawers, your old jars, your inherited coin boxes, even that random change bucket sitting in the garage, because this coin is still hiding in plain sight across America. And the craziest part, this isn't even the rarest Eisenhower dollar story, because there exists a mysterious error variety so unusual that collectors argued about it for years before finally confirming it was real, and once you see it, you'll understand why people call it the hidden legend of the series. So don't stop here, because the next coin might be the one that changes everything. Top 5, a coin worth just $1. Sitting in a soda machine return tray, just sold for thousands and the owner had no idea until it was almost gone forever. Yes, we're talking about the 1776 to 1976 Eisenhower dollar, that bicentennial coin you've probably seen 100 times and never thought twice about, but what if I told you, one version of it quietly changes everything? It looks ordinary at first glance, big, heavy, silver-colored, with that bold Liberty Bell and the moon behind it, stamped with 1776 to 1976 to celebrate America's 200th birthday, and most people assume it's just another old dollar coin with no real value. That's exactly why it gets missed, because it feels common, too familiar, too everywhere. But one man in Pennsylvania learned the hard way that common can be the biggest mistake in coin hunting. He was cleaning out his father's old toolbox, rusty, dusty, forgotten for decades, when he found a small pile of bicentennial Eisenhower dollars wrapped in an old rag. He almost dumped them into a change machine, all of them, until one coin felt different, heavier, cleaner, almost untouched compared to the rest. That one coin stopped him, just long enough to take it to a local shop. And what happened next, nobody expected. The dealer didn't smile, didn't joke, just silently examined it under bright light, rotating it slowly, then suddenly leaned in and said, "Where did you get this one?" Because this wasn't just a regular 1776 to 1976 Eisenhower dollar, this was a special collector-grade example with features that most people completely overlook. Now imagine this coin in your hand. Front side. Dwight D. Eisenhower staring forward, bold letters circling the rim, and under his neck, that tiny mint mark that most people never even notice. Flip it over, and you see one of the most iconic designs in American coin history, the Liberty Bell superimposed over the moon, with the Earth floating in space like something from a NASA dream. But here's where treasure hunters pay attention. Because the real value is not just the design, it's the condition, the strike, and the hidden variations that most people don't know exist. Step 1. Find your 1776 to 1976 Eisenhower dollar and check the mint mark under Eisenhower's neck. Look for a D or S, don't skip this. Step 2. Tilt it under strong light. Real valuable examples show bright, rolling shine that moves across the surface like waves, not dull flat gray metal. Step 3. Study the Liberty Bell on the back. On higher grade coins the lines inside the bell are sharp and clean, not soft or blurry like heavily circulated pieces. Step 4. Check for proof-like surfaces or unusually strong detail, because bicentennial coins were produced in massive numbers, but only a small fraction survived in truly clean condition. And here's the shocking truth. Most people think bicentennial coins are worthless because millions were made, but they forget one critical thing: most of them were spent, damaged, or lost in circulation for decades. Which means finding a clean, sharp, untouched example today is becoming harder every single year. And that's why collectors are quietly paying attention, because condition turns common into rare faster than most people realize. One man even found his in a glove compartment, forgotten for years, and after grading, it sold for thousands because of its exceptional preservation. That's the power hidden in something people ignore every day. So right now, stop and think, where are your old coins, your jars, your drawers, your inherited boxes from grandparents? Because this coin is still everywhere, still hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone to notice what everyone else threw away. And just when you think the bicentennial Eisenhower dollar is the end of the story, there's another version, even stranger, with a mysterious minting twist that collectors argue about to this day, and when you see it, you'll realize this whole series has secrets most people never learn about. Subscribe please my channel, thanks.